What's up, guys? Welcome back to The Educated Barfly. Today we're going to be doing a cocktail called Campari Shakerato, but what this video is really about is when it's appropriate to shake and when it's appropriate to stir. And really more about shaking. I've been seeing a lot of questions and debate in the comments lately about this particular subject, so I thought it would be kind of fun to do this episode. We are going to be doing a shake cocktail to sort of illustrate my ideas on it. And basically what I've seen is some questions regarding, shaking and stirring and what the thoughts are about that. So most people think that when you want to shake a cocktail, it's because you have citrus and sugar in the drink. And then when you stir a cocktail, it's because you have something that's all booze. So daiquiris are shaken and old fashions or Manhattans or something are stirred. And while that's not incorrect, that's totally 100% true. There are instances where you will shake cocktails that are fully booze. So what I like to think about when shaking cocktails is really about, it's not so much about, combining things of different densities, which it does do. It's more about like how much water and how fast you want to chill that drink. So today, this drink is a very, very simple drink. It's an Italian drink. Very obscure. The recipe that we're doing is an adapted recipe from Naren Young over at Dante, and he's done a really, really good job of just taking obscure Italian classics and putting them into his bar program over there, which is a Italian eatery, and so it has an Italian, the thrust of the menu is Italian, I guess. Let's make the drink, and then I guess we'll talk about it some more. I don't know.
Yep.
Right? Are we going to talk about it some more? Yeah, let's make the drink first, though. It's better to drink when we have something in front of us. So, first thing we're going to do is 2.5 ounces of Campari. Then we're going to do 2 drops of, this is like a Maldon salt solution, but you don't need to use Maldon salt. You can use any type of like fleur de sel or you want to have some nice salt for this, but I guess kosher salt would do as well. I did a 20% solution here. We're just going to do 2 drops. And then we're going to do 2 drops of orange flower water. Oh, I got to take the, all right, I'm just going to do 1 dash instead. Oh, it's so much orange flower water. You do that 1 dash. All right, then we're just going to add ice to our tin. We're going to give it a nice hard shake. All right. And then double strain it. Give it a orange twist. I think for this one, dear Marius, what I'd like to do, I'm not going to do it for the video because I don't have it, but I think I'm going to do this. And then I'm going to get one of those little clips and just kind of clip it to the side like that, no? Yeah, come on. All right, give it a nice sip. Ooh, fantastic. Nice and bitter. But the dilution took the bitter down quite a bit. You get that salt that really brings the flavor out, and then you get that nice orange flower water that gives you that nice zest, and then you also have the zest on top. I said the orange flower water gives you a zest. The orange flower water gives you a nice, light, floral, orangey taste, and then you have the zest on top, which gives you the nice oranginess of it. You get that nice aeration from the shake. So why did I shake this drink? Do you know, Marius? You know why I shook this drink? I think I already said it earlier.
You wanted more dilution.
I wanted more dilution, right? Because what you want to do is, that's what you do when you shake. When you shake, you add a lot of dilution right up front and you get the cocktail really, really cold and chill. And it doesn't always necessarily need to have sugar or citrus in it to be a shaken cocktail.
Right.
So you can shake a martini if you so desire. The thing is that with a martini, the flavors are so delicate, and then that like adding that much water to it, for me, over dilutes it. But for this, I don't think it does. The water really lengthens that bitter flavor, and you actually taste more of the flavor profile of the Campari because you've lengthened it with so much water. If you want to shake like a martini, you could do that. And even with this, you could actually shake it on a big rock of ice. A big rock of ice is going to give you a lot less dilution, but it will give you that nice texture that we got here, that nice aeration, right? Because that big piece of ice is going to give you that nice aeration. Mm-hmm. It's going to chill the cocktail, but it's also going to give you a lot less water. So you could do that. So when you shake a martini, for instance, you want to do like a shake and stir James Bond style martini.
Yeah, why
shake
is that?
It on a big rock, and then you're not adding too much water to it.
Yeah. Why is the shaken martini so foo-foo?
Why is it so foo-foo?
Yeah.
What do you mean? Like, why is it looked down upon?
Yeah, we've never done a shaken one. It seems
no,
like
we can. I mean, because the thing is that it goes to this issue, I think, right? So like, here's the thing. With a martini, you want to add a controlled amount of dilution, and that's why you stir, right? You stir something because you're adding a really controlled amount of dilution. When you shake, you're adding an uncontrolled amount of dilution, in a sense. Like you really don't have, it adds dilution really rapidly. And so it's very easy on ice that's just like regular well ice, right? It's very easy to over dilute that cocktail. Now, here's the thing. In most bars, they have like hotel pan ice in their well, right? So that stuff, which is already half frozen, it's already half melted, is going to add a ton of water to a cocktail and it's really going to over dilute it. The thing is that when you're in a bar that's doing things that's a little bit more intentional, right, where they're using like cold draft ice or big rocks of ice, mm-hmm. shaken martinis are a viable thing. I think that people look down upon it for a couple of reasons. I think new bartenders look down upon it when they're taught the proper way to do things. I think every bartender kind of goes through it where it's like, and it's sort of like the stages, it's like the 3 stages of becoming like a bartender is like, first you don't know anything, right? And then you start to learn all these things and you get really snotty and arrogant about it. And then the more you learn, the more years you do this, you go back to just doing things that you previously looked down upon because you realize that there was no reason to look down upon them, really.
That's life in general, isn't it? That's
right, it is. It's just like a microcosm for life, I guess, yeah. Anyway, I don't think we even got to what a Shakerato is. Do you know what a Shakerato is? I told you, but you have to pretend like I didn't.
Yeah, I forgot.
He doesn't know. And this is a coffee guy too. So a Shakerato is an Italian coffee drink that is made by taking espresso, condensed milk, and sugar, adding them into a shaking tin like this, shaking it with ice, and then pouring it over ice in a Collins glass. Apparently, you can get them in any cafe in Italy. I've never ordered one. It sounds amazing. Condensed milk is awesome. And you can do it with whole milk if you don't want to do like condensed milk. What's that?
Yeah, it almost sounds like a coffee milkshake.
Yeah, it's like a café con leche.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's like a coffee milkshake. Yeah, and it's like all aerated and nice. And so basically someone back in the day in Italy took that same concept and applied it to just this like lengthened Campari drink. And I really like this. It's really nice. You have to like Campari, and you don't have to do it with Campari. You can do it with any aperitivo you want. You could do it literally with any aperitivo you want. I just did it with Campari because that's what they do at Dante. I was making that version of the drink. But there it is, the Campari Shakerato. If you like our channel, please hit like and subscribe and check us out on Patreon and YouTube memberships. And check out our website. Marius has been doing a cracking job at building our website and making it more interesting to go to. We have a shop there and we have a virtual bottle program.
And all our recipes are there. Well,
most of our recipes are there. We're working on it. We got the virtual bottle program, and I've been thinking about adding a little bit more content there. It's getting to be a more interesting place. You should check it out, theeducatedbarfly.com. And if you want to look as snappy as I do in these videos, you can go to Staggerly Goods and get one of these handmade aprons. They're pretty fantastic. I've been wearing them for the life of our channel. I love them. Handmade in San Francisco. It's wonderful. So check them out, staggerlygoods.com, and I will see you guys another time.